Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the Canadian Esports Championship Series, where my Discord just got working in time. My name's Wes Rambo. I'm joined once again by the prodigal son, Intact, who has
Hello.
been away for a while, dealing with real life stuff. But you're back here with us on the internet, Intact. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. This past week's been treating me really nicely. Hoping to be done with all school and all that stuff by the end of next week.
All right, and we are going to get into some League of Legends today. We have got Casually Reformed up against Scoop City coming in for a best of three. I know it's a little early. Thanks everybody for tuning in early and hanging out with us on this Saturday afternoon. So as I start to get into the draft and everything like that, I'll just throw it over to you, Intact, just because you haven't been here in a while. So I know that you're not going to be as caught up on all the teams, but you've been playing some League of Legends.
Yes,
What
sir.
are the champions you want to look out for? How are you feeling about this latest patch and the meta right now?
Well, right now, obviously, the jungle meta has been one thing and one thing only. It's been the full clear meta. Anybody that can abuse that Chem Tank Dead Man's combo. So you got Hecarim, you got Udyr, and then you have worse Udyr, aka Olaf, up in there. Maybe at this in this area, on this area of play, we might see a little bit of Skarner, which would be really exciting. Actually, I quite like Skarner, even though he's kind of one-dimensional. Um,
Hmm.
and when you look at the rest of the lanes, it's just sort of who can play around that. In top lane, it's mostly been pretty standard in terms of who you see. When you think of top lane champs, you think of champions like Sion, stuff like that. That's still all fine. Mid lane is whoever can roam and play around their jungler, who can be able to go around towards bot lane, all that sort of stuff. So if there's one thing that I look at, it's probably the jungle.
Definitely looking for the jungle picks. And as we get that, we are into the draft. I got you the link there Intact. So we
All
should
right.
be good to go. And we are starting off with Scoop on the red side, Casually Reformed on the blue. So they are going to get started with that draft, and we'll see what bans come in. Of course, the meta is important, but you got to think about power picks for these players. And the big one that's looming over everybody's head is Dinsbag on that Darius. We know that Dinsbag is likely to go up into that top side. Darius is an extreme comfort pick for him, and so we're expecting that type of ban out of Casually Reformed. They do start out with the Lee Sin ban, answered over by Anivia for Scoop.
And yeah, I mean, Lee Sin actually is someone that I wasn't expecting to be banned. Lee Sin hasn't been
Mm-hmm.
super high impact in recent patches. He's more dependent on coin flipping early, and without rubber banding
Yep.
XP, if he falls behind early, he tends to be pretty useless.
Yeah.
So
Well,
interesting to see that that's a high priority in their ban.
I'll give you some context as to why that happens is because coin flipping is Scoop City's middle name. They are definitely
Ah,
the type of team to do that, and so
I
Jelly on
see.
that jungle. Lee Sin is a dangerous champion in Jelly's hands. Leona coming in as well, and of course you've got to think about Casually Reformed side, the comfort picks over there. There's Royal, who loves to play that Mordekaiser in the mid lane. There's a lot of I appreciate that you're coming in with the pro meta, but at
But you got your
CECS,
own.
every league's got their own meta, right? So a little bit of a
Yes,
blend
sir.
of the two. But it is the Senna ban coming in. So Mordekaiser has been left open, Casually Reformed. Could go for that on the first go around if they want. But of course, more likely, like you said, to look for junglers early on in the draft.
Well, seeing these bans right here, I'm intrigued to see what the meta's been so far. It looks to be
Yeah.
quite exciting, and there's a Samira. Actually, I remember Samira's more of a Dinsbag champ, isn't it? If
Yep.
my memory serves me correctly.
Yep, but we do have Harley over on the Casually Reformed, one of the best AD carries in the league. Really impressive. And Samira, definitely a great way to express some skill. We'll see what Scoop responds with. And of course, they do have that counter pick at the last pick of red side. So we'll see if they're waiting for those solo lanes, see if they want to do that. And it is indeed Alistar coming through. Definitely an answer to Samira in a way. Lots of ways to disrupt her, but that's what we see from the draft. I also was interested in the Malzahar getting taken away. That's, probably a meta thing because it's not targeted at any specific person. But there you
Not
go.
really.
Alistar Tristana in the bot lane.
I haven't seen too much of Malazar. And actually
Yeah.
seeing the Alistar, I think Alistar might be a takeaway. They don't want the Samira to be paired with the Alistar because obviously the second part of the Samira passive works only with knockups and extending the CC duration. So that's a
Yes.
huge takeaway right there. And Tristana is one of the big meta ADCs right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hail of Blades plus the bomb is a almost 100 to 0 kill combo from the very start of the game.
Yep.
The thing is though, if Samira can block the bomb, pretty much neutralizes Tristana entirely.
Yeah. Definitely, it takes away not only the damage but the reset potential in terms of jumping in. Volley Bear as well is taken. Now, this of course is likely to go into the top lane, but could flex into the jungle. We've seen it in the top lane before. We've seen Casually Reformed use that, but now that that's been shown, that's just the nice thing about someone like Volley Bear. It is an option in the jungle if you really want to, and definitely look for Sean or Daniel to be playing that one. Now, set the answer. This is going to be set top almost for sure. Looking for that Volley Bear counter.
Yes, sir. And actually, in my personal preference, I would like to see Volibear go because he
Mm,
recently just got some buffs to his clear speed. They removed the cap on his E to monsters, which allows him to clear
yes.
almost as fast as the fastest clearing junglers in the game. And he is also someone who's able to abuse the chem tank and Dead Man's Plate combo right now, which makes him really, really effective in getting his team ahead early.
Yeah, Volley Bear definitely can be dangerous. I would love to see the jungle Volley Bear as well, especially in light of the buffs, like you say. There we go. The worst Udyr has been banned out. We'll see if the better Udyr still does get picked. I'm not sure if Jelly plays it, and Jelly tends to be more kind of
I
mechanic
mean,
focused. He was looking for playmaking junglers, so Udyr maybe not the pick for Jelly, but it's a very very strong champion right now.
and it seems they think the Volibear's jungle as well, because that's two top lane bans quickly
Yes.
fired out by Scoop City, and that's targeting Dinsbag, right? Dinsbag, I've known him; he's a pretty big name, right? If there's one
hmm
person to carry teams, it would be
Yep.
Dinsbag, right? If my memory serves me
Absolutely
correctly.
true. Yeah, they're trying to set up Dinsbag for success, Scoop City, by banning out some counters that might come in for him or gotten Malphite. There's Diana coming in as the final ban. Diana's looking good on this patch, at least in my elo anyway. She's pretty strong and feeling pretty able to carry a game late. And now we come into Scoop with their second last pick here. They're hovering the Morgana. I think this is
Morgana
Morgana
mid
jungle. I'm pretty sure it's
jungle.
Morgana jungle.
Morgana jungle. Now I've seen that so much in solo queue recently,
Yeah.
but I've
Yeah.
not seen that picked in 5v5 yet. I'd like to be able to get a good look at that one. It's
Yeah.
clear is her clear is super healthy. Her clear is
Really
quite
good.
quick, but
Yep.
her ganks on the other hand, before six can be a little bit flippy, you know.
Definitely. They're definitely you're very much relying on hitting that Q when you come into lane. Vel'Koz is picked up, so that is going into the mid lane. Interestingly enough, looks like probably a blind pick if they're assuming the Morgana jungle, which I am, but I could be wrong, of course. Morgana mid is a possibility. And now
It is.
Casually Reformed have got to take some sort of blind pick here.
They've is that the jungle? Is that the top lane? We're gonna find out pretty
hmm
soon here. It is the jungle
And there
Volibear.
we
You got
go.
Jace to respond to the set. I actually kind of like that one because Jace not only is someone who can be abuse the range advantage against Set, also when Set runs up and he either tries to W or he tries to stun you, Jace can also knock him back in the hammer form.
Yeah, and you do have a good amount of poke now on Casually Reformed, so maybe a bit of a situation where you're trying to continue to get them low, try to poke out with Vel'Koz and Jace, and then finally pull the trigger, go in with the Volley Bear Samira.
Mumu.
But it looks
Huh.
like Morgana is going into the mid lane because Amumu is there's nowhere you could play him besides the jungle, in my
Mumu
opinion.
mid, full AP one shot.
Hey, who do you got? Yeah, Rocket Belt Amumu. I would love to see it. I don't think it's likely. Just a second. There might be a. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we just have to wait just a moment for the lobby. But this is the draft, so we have the team compositions ready. Oh, and I'll just let the teams know that we are ready. Go whenever. Oh, they are in. Okay, so Scoop City, before we go to a break, we have got a comp coming in here that is focused so completely on team fighting. You've got Amumu, Morgana, Set coming in with all that AoE, all of that team fighting power up against a little bit of a split decision here over on the side of Casually Reformed.
I mean, for the set of casually reformed, you got quite a lot of proactivity on that roster.
Yeah. Definitely true. The poke coming out, but of course, lots of engage as well. So, Casually Reformed up against Scoop City in a best of 3. We will see who comes out on top, and we will see what happens in game 1 right after the break that we have to take for some competitive integrity. So, we will see you in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Canadian Esports Championship Series. It is Casually Reformed up against Scoop City over here on Summoner's Rift. We got a best of 3 coming in for you today, up between two of the most, competitive teams, honestly, between each other here. They have been back and forth, these two teams, as well as a lot of the teams in this league. And before we get more into that, it looks like we might have a fight here.
We might have a little bit of an invade as Dinsbag walks in. He walks straight into 3. That's not where you be, and already we have a first blood over to the Thresh. Continuing is the Jace going forward onto Maiden ADC. Will they find a second? Doesn't look like they will. Having to expend both of the summoners is the Tristana, and that's not how you want to start the game if you're on the side of shoot, I can't get the name right now.
Scoop City, yeah.
Scoop City.
Oh, we did have a scene switch there. There we go. We are back. Scoop City is already down a first blood, and that one did go over to Murphy on the Thresh. So, well, Scoop City, I mean, they invade every single game. I should have given you that context before. We should expect an invade with Scoop City. They always do it, and it often doesn't work out for them, and they often win the game anyway. So that's kind of the type of thing we're expecting here. You do see, of course, the flash expended on Jelly, Maiden ADC, and Dinsbag, with just the Ignite and Heal expended from the bot lane of Casually Reformed. So definitely Casually Reformed coming out way ahead here. And looks like starting both on the bot side jungle, everybody goes back to normal. Everybody takes a deep breath and just tries to recuperate here.
And actually, I was a little bit hesitant at the beginning there to catch up because I was more focused on one thing. I got pranked by the scoreboard. I thought that was an Amumu mid. You just switched it there.
Around.
I had my eyes focused on that.
Yeah, it is Amumu jungle, of course. But yeah, Amumu mid would be very exciting. I'd love to see it. I'm putting out a challenge to all you teams in the league now. Let's see it. But fighting the bot lane here.
I mean, Amumu mid, I actually think if your opponent really isn't expecting it and they pick something a little bit less mobile, I guess you could say.
Sure.
I feel like it really could work.
Yeah, I play a bunch of Amumu jungle. I'm definitely a bit of an Amumu abuser, at least when I'm climbing up in the mid elo there. And the thing about it is Amumu is so reliant on the Q that even when you go in for a jungle gank, you can get really frustrated by minions getting in the way of the Q. And I think that would really, really stop you in mid lane. As long as you get minions in between you and the enemy champion, it's just so difficult to do anything. We do see, just pretty much even lanes so far. It is actually Harley and Murphy down in the bot lane for Casually Reformed, able to push in and able to get Prio in that lane. So that's going to be important as, Volibear, definitely a stronger duelist than Amumu earlier on in the jungle as well. So getting that lane Prio is going to really affect their game state so far with these two teams. And Samira, Thresh, an aggressive lane in their own right anyway. So Samira and Thresh definitely looking to create Prio, maybe create some fights.
Speaking of the Volibear, I'm actually really interested at what happened. I think he hung around mid for a really long time, and now he's fallen really far behind his clear speed compared to the Amumu, which is not something you expect from a Volibear. Jelly's got almost his entire full clear done, as Volibear is just now getting to his blue buff.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to look for some sort of cheesy gank there, maybe level 2. Didn't happen, and he is going to be able to go for that scuttle. Amumu not even trying to go for it, probably wisely. Amumu just does not want to be fighting Volibear at that point in the river, and so that is going over to Sean, who's going to, once he finishes that, equalize the CS. But yeah, like you say, definitely Volibear got a little bit behind. Amumu just trying to get to that level 6 because that's when the power spike comes in. So, being ahead, always going to be a good thing.
Definitely so. And one thing I want to mention, actually, hold on, we got a little bit of a fight in the bot side. Alistar is going to get hooked. A nice one there from half of his HP. Now dashing in is Harley, forcing them on the way back. Establishing control over this bot side is Casually Reformed as they flash in, get the flay, get the solo kill. Second on the scoreboard for them. Can they make it? Yet another dashing forward is Murphy, but has he been baited by the heal slightly? It's traded 1 for 1, but that's still in the favor of Casually Reformed.
You love to see it. Unfortunately, it was the 2 kills going to the Thresh, but there is the replay coming in here. So Harley goes in into the flash flay from Murphy. He actually gets both, which is critical. Maiden ADC also gets knocked back. That's what allows them to get those extra couple of auto attacks. But here, like you said, heal bait comes in, bomb goes down, and both kills get traded away. So it was only Harley securing one of those, Thresh getting the other. If Harley had secured both kills, I would say it's worth for the dive. Since it was Thresh, unfortunately, to get a couple of those kills, the 1-for-1, I'm not sure you take that if in hindsight. So
Well,
you
you
know,
always take it.
yeah, yeah, no,
Mama
it's
ain't
always worth. It's
raised
always worth.
no
You're right.
child. All right, you go right in there and you fight that. And
You're right.
actually,
Always worth.
they
My
surprised
mistake.
me. Twice they surprised me. I thought they would take the pressure and go back to the wave and try to establish a freeze or maybe make them lose out on CS. But then Murphy flashed in. He gets the kill. I was not expecting that. And then on top of that, Harley continues going in. He continues tower diving.
And speaking
And
of
hold on,
the gank
speaking
here,
of a little bit of a dive, we got a gank coming down the top side, flipping the volleyball back. Can he trade onto Daniel? He can! Dinsbag! The sumo wrestler takes one out, and can he get away from Sean? The bear trying to arrest this man for murder, but it doesn't look like he's going to be fast enough. Maybe he will be. Dinsbag pulls him in, and yes! At least 1-for-1 is traded back, but that's gotta feel embarrassing if you're Daniel right there.
yeah, well played by Dinsbag. Set always has got that 1v2 potential, but of course, Sean, there you go. That's why you buy boots early, because he just manages to catch up to the set there. Sean taking out Dinsbag and getting revenge for his fallen Jace. So that is going to be Daniel. Yeah, he was starting to build up a bit of a lead there in that lane, and unfortunately that's basically been reset by Dinsbag being able to get that kill. Still a little bit of an advantage for Jace here, having the tier, scaling up a little bit, able to poke. Look at that.
Hold
from
on.
Murphy there.
That's going to be a nice flay, but unluckily, Death Sentence not going to land to follow that one up. And actually, I just noticed something. You mentioned that a Mumu mid might be frustrating because the bandage toss has to go through the minions. But isn't Morgana just the same thing? Your dark binding has to go through the minions.
That's true. Morgana has the advantage of being a ranged champion, and so at least you're able to farm but from range. But yeah, definitely Morgana has an issue there. That's why Morgana can be very difficult to play mid, is because her main damage.
Hold on,
but
nice hook from Murphy. Nice knockback, though, in response from the Alistar. Going to be there to save his ADC. And I've really been liking this Thresh so far. Really aggressive, really on point with how he's been playing.
Yeah, Murphy and Harley are one of the most dangerous bot lanes in the league, no doubt about it. And
Again, he lands another hook, but we got two fights simultaneously on the top side and on the bot side. Aldrey gonna get flayed and knocked back up. Can they get at least one here? Doesn't quite look like it, but continuing to be aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, you can see Harley really wants to go back in, really wants to capitalize on that low HP. And as Samira, you know how it feels to see those low HP targets and want to go in. But instead, looks like they are going to just go for the plate. And Amumu is wandering over, posturing towards this side. So they do have to kind of get out of dodge.
If I can see correctly.
Yeah, he is level 6 already, Jelly. So there we go. That's a good ward there, of course. Pretty standard, but definitely paying off in this respect. And they're going to know that Amumu is in the area. There's just no opportunity for anybody to reliably go for Dragon right now. Neither lane has that much priority. Neither jungler is that far ahead. And, you know, just a bit of a farm lead on Amumu. But, of course, Volibear, a better duelist early. So Casually Reformed and Scoop City have to just back off here.
And, I mean... Hold on, we got a bit of another fight up here. Flash needed to be expended from Daniel to escape the clutches of Dinsbag's flip. And before that play happened, I wanted to talk about... You mentioned that this is just a little bit of a jungle CS gap, but this is a really, really surprising jungle CS gap.
That's
Volibear has one of the best clears in the game right now, one of the healthiest, one of the fastest. And Amumu has one of the slowest and one of the worst. In fact, during Amumu's first clear, he didn't even have enough HP to take his Crux. He was forced to back. So... It's real shocking that Volibear is behind this Amumu, and he needs to find some sort of play on the map to sort of make up for, be it diving the top lane, getting his Jace ahead, or try to snowball his bot lane more. But in the current state, it doesn't really quite look as good for him.
True, yeah. He does have a couple of kill participations, so that could account for a couple, but I agree, it is unusual to see a Volibear this far behind in farm, even if he's participated in ganks. You can see Dinsbag smells blood right now. Daniel is pretty in quite a bit of danger underneath this tower, but Dinsbag without ultimate, without flash up, not going to be wanting to go for that one. They did manage to take Dragon, though, so...
Hold on, a play being looked for here. There's the tantrum. There is the kill. Bodybuilding picks that one up, but in comes the bear looking for revenge. The second bout of revenge he's picked up this game, as Dinsbag looks for another, doesn't quite land the grit on the center. But whew, all over the map, another 1-for-1 when it all boils down to it.
Yep, and Jelly having that ultimate up says that's go time. Goes in for the flash ult, stacking the crowd control, and Bodybuilding's able to follow up. Bodybuilding also was gifted that kill. Morgana definitely going to be very dangerous as you continue to get those AP stats coming in. On the other side, you saw Daniel and Dinsbag continuing to fight, and Dinsbag just continuing to come out on top. Daniel keeps getting that combo where he's able to knock Dinsbag back into tower range, but Dinsbag on the set is just too tanky. Look at his items. He doesn't have anything for tankiness, and yet he keeps surviving and keeps managing to get ahead in those engagements. So great work by Dinsbag. It's just classic stuff by Dinsbag up in the top lane, able to really hold his own.
Absolutely establishing himself like always, but I do feel like it's a bit of a mistake from Daniel. Hold on. Daniel, once again, knocking him back to the turret, but he is going to get flipped for the third time. Dinsbag looking to make some sort of turn, going to find the facebreaker onto both the stun the second time he's turned for a kill onto the opposing top side. And Sean this time has no means for revenge.
Dinsbag has got a Vamp Scepter, a pair of boots. Hang on, there's a kill in the bot lane I'll talk about after that, but a Vamp Scepter, a pair of boots, a cloth armor, and a Doran's blade, and somehow he's able to take down this Daniel, stacking the lethality and avoid the volley bear. Just incredible work there from Dinsbag, and he's so far ahead in levels here.
Hold on, he might have just killed himself, this Alistar. Flash needing to be expended will get it out. What was that about? I'm gonna ring the cowbell for that one.
Well, there was a kill in bot lane as well. Murphy nabbing another one and stealing that one away from Harley. So that's Casually Reformed is continuing to gain advantages in other areas of the map. That was a great work there by Harley and Murphy, who often are the carry and the focus of this Casually Reformed side. So the question is, oh, that's a great hook there.
Another great hook. The Flay, the Pulverize will make sure that he will survive, but still super aggressive. And before that play happened on top side, I want to mention, I think you saying that Daniel's getting that combo off pretty consistently onto Dinsbag to knock him back might be a bit of a misunderstanding on how to play the matchup from Daniel's part, because obviously you want to be behind the Jace. And speaking of behind, ADC, Maiden ADC is behind his own turret, but that's no place of safety for him. Bullied right back out again.
Yeah, you know, a good point what you were going for before. You know, Daniel does want to hit the set under tower if he can, but that's only because the set is getting in that advantageous position to use that suplex and, you know, be able to get close onto the Jace. We got an engagement here, though.
Hold on. Jelly is here. He still has his ultimate, I believe. When's he going to use it? Is he going to use it? Or are we going to see a death without it? Murphy, the first casualty, over to the side of Casually Reformed. Maiden ADC is finally back. He's entered the fight. Will they continue pushing the button? Dinsbag on the other side of the wall will flash and hit that two-man facebreaker, and that is two people knocked down. A double over to the side of Bodybuilding, and the rest of Casually Reformed is sent to the hills, but they're not going anywhere at this rate. Another flip, another kill, and a flash forced out from Harley as he escapes the chaos that fell the rest of his team.
They're diving, baby.
They are diving. He will not even escape it.
Dinsbag just continues. Here is the replay starting in the middle of the fight, and you can see they're already caught out here. They had to go into complete no man's land, and now Daniel, having teleported over with Harley, gets caught by the Dark Binding from Bodybuilding on the retreat. Harley has to flash away.
Hold on,
and
we
still
come back and Dinsbag's almost dead.
What?
Ignite ticking. Will he survive? He will. But in comes Sean, and he's gonna lightning down. Murphy lands the hook once again. Can he cancel the jump from Maiden ADC? He's waiting for that Flay opportunity. Just autoing away. The box comes up, but the wall's not gonna hit him, and the jump comes through. Maiden ADC is out of this one.
They are just not slowing down one bit intact. It is top of the speed limit and pushing it the entire time, and that is going to end up benefiting Scoop City in the end. Even though Casually Reformed's bot lane has been doing great work so far, Scoop City manages to escape that last engagement. Scoop City is up in gold, up in kills, and they are only behind that one dragon, which they might be looking to rectify here. But yeah, this game is just constant action, and it's classic Scoop City vibes here. They just do not stop fighting no matter what.
They do not stop fighting, and it's not just Scoop City. Casually Reformed has been opting into this same playstyle.
They have indeed. So we've got bodybuilding a little bit low here up against the Vel'Koz Royal. Definitely one of the star players of Casually Reformed and has not managed to find much impact on this game yet. Of course, that Vel'Koz obviously scales very well with the true damage. Aldrey looking for Sean in the jungle. Doesn't look like he's going to find anything, but yeah, you know, we do definitely need to see a little bit more from Royal. The other person who you need to see more from is Daniel, of course. You know, this poke combo that they've got going on.
He has been getting wrecked.
Uh-oh.
Dinsbag doesn't care. He's going to take your turret, and he's going to run straight at you. The flash used just to get on out from what was just a second ago the safety of his own turret. This lane is just in no position to even be matched for Daniel right now.
This is a vintage Dinsbag performance right now. You know, it looks like he's on Darius with the way he's controlling the map. Just completely turns around a situation if he arrives at it, no matter what position he's in. So really, really nice work on the set so far from Dinsbag. Definitely the shining light on this Scoop City team, and basically he has been able to create enough pressure to give Scoop City a lead overall on the map, even with the dominance of Casually Reformed's bot lane early on. They're just able to do such great work here. You can see a big farm lead from the Samira, but it just doesn't feel, it's not being felt yet.
And I doubt it really will be felt, because there's a lot of options on the side of hold on. A lot of options to die for Royal here. Another kill over to Morgana. He just has no right to move.
How did bodybuilding sneak that binding through? That was ridiculous. That was some... Royal's going to be wondering what his minion's hitbox is after that one, because that one just went right beside them. Murphy taking some damage as well, and yeah, they get the kill. 5-0-1 now for bodybuilding on this Morgana.
And you gotta imagine, he hasn't backed in a good while. He's just been sitting in lane, clearing these waves, getting this turret. On that first back, he's gonna finish his mythic and then more. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out even a second item. And here we go, another brawl happening on the bot side of 3v3. The first target is Murphy, jumping in his maiden ADC. Can he get a kill? He cannot get the reset. In goes Jelly, but he can't find anything either. Harley turning things around. That's a double over to the side of Casually Reformed, and that's the Drake open for them. But meanwhile, both lanes continuing to suffer heavy damage.
Yeah, bodybuilding does have to go back soon. Mana is gone and health is very low. Here is Sean starting off the dragon on his own, just clearing out wards actually, and we'll see if he continues to go. Bodybuilding's going to keep pushing.
This is dangerous. He has a 600 gold shutdown. He does not want to give that one out.
Wow. Yeah, you know, just going back to that fight right before the dragon, it was Jelly just being a little bit over aggressive there, going for the Amumu Q. You can see it here going in for the Thresh, and they think that they've got something, but the problem is the only damage is made in ADC. Goes for Murphy, but he can get bursted down so quick. This is a nice ultimate from Maiden ADC to try to delay a little bit, but you just, if you're not able to control Harley, you're not winning a fight as Scoop City. Now, speaking of winning a fight...
Hold on, back to live. Dinsbag's in some trouble. We've seen him in this spot plenty of times. Can he pull a rabbit out of the hat again? No, he can't. He gets put in the grave. Kills evened out 10-10 here. This game is still a nail-biter when it comes down to it.
Wow, yeah, gold is so close. Dinsbag all game has been saying, send more when they go for the 2v1. And eventually, well, that's exactly what they do. They send 3, and Dinsbag is not able to handle that one.
Hold on, Harley, what are you doing, man? Dashes forward into bodybuilding, who just pops the chains and says, get out of my face, man. Harley having to expend the flash means he doesn't have it here, which means he gets caught up from that headbutt pulverized combo, and he is going to get knocked down. A nice setup there from the Alistar. Can they catch out Royal on the way out? No, the Lantern will get him out.
Yeah, Curse of the Sad Mummy being expended there, probably not the best idea for Jelly. That's a big cooldown. It's such an important ability. One of the most important that any champion has in this game is that huge AoE stun, and Jelly kind of expends it for nothing there, unfortunately. But they do catch out Harley, who had way overextended, like you said, into the Morgana, and expended the flash and still died to the move speed of Aldrey chasing after him with that Alistar. So now that's Samira off the map. 2 dragons have been taken by Casually Reformed, and so they're still in a good position here in terms of scaling up, trying to get towards that late game. Of course, it is Infernal Rift. Infernal Soul is on the table. That's going to be gigantic for players like Jace and Vel'Koz in particular, with that poke and with that kind of constant damage over the course of a team fight. So you really want to avoid giving up any more dragons if you're Scoop City.
Hold on, Daniel is starting to hear some boss music here. Hex Flash, or not even Hex Flash, Real Flash up for Aldrey means they can snap engage this on a moment's notice. They're waiting for him to push up. And speaking of going up, Maiden ADC, what are you doing, my friend? That's not a fight you want to take. Gets greedy, gets punished. And that's just a kill donated over to them. And bodybuilding catches out Daniel. There it is. 1 for 1 every single time, man.
Yeah, it's just overextending all across the board, and that's Daniel once again being caught out. Here's Harley.
Hold on, Harley may be getting caught out again, but a nice dash through both of those members will take him to safety. It's not really like Jelly and Audrey had any damage to kill him either, actually.
Yeah, you do see Amumu having finished that Sunfire Aegis, but not exactly threatening lethal damage onto the Samira, so that's just going to be fine. Nice little juke out from Harley.
Hold on, Stride Breaker, Face Breaker. Not going to catch out Royal. It has to expend the flash, and it's just been action, action, action. They don't stop, and they're going to get this mid turret. They've opened up 2 of these 3 lanes all the way down to that inhib turret. And
Sean
now,
wants this.
Casual Reformed are kind of angry. Sean's running forward. Not going to find too much out of that, though.
Yeah, you can see bodybuilding is the one with most of the gold right now, I suppose, besides Dinsbag. 5-0 and 3 on the Morgana. Really, really powerful so far on this control mage here, and having completed that Leandri's Anguish, going to be very, very dangerous in extended fights where you can kind of get those chains off, where you can get the pool multiple times. Really, really strong for that champion to have. Meanwhile, Royal over on the other side has also completed Leandri's, but no other items yet. Felkaz just does not feel like he's really been a part of this game so far. The poke just has not been, hasn't been noticeable from the side of Casually Reformed. So
no, it has not. And actually,
yeah,
I'm a little bit worried about the build for bodybuilding a little bit, because typically when you have such a huge lead, you have such a huge shutdown on maybe someone like Morgana, you can opt to delay the demonic embrace a bit and pick up a Zanya's just because you're such a focal part of your team.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to see that in this situation when your ADC is in quite a bit of a struggle bus.
And Struggle Bus was, you did manage to get off at the right stop there for that one, though, as Volleybear chasing after, and you rocket jump away. That is Maiden ADC escaping there. And, yeah, interesting idea to go for the Zanya's first. I think it totally makes sense. Not to give away that shutdown, even though the Oblivion Orb has been snuck in before even a stopwatch comes through for the Morgana. So
yeah, I really don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, Oblivion Orb makes sense against Sivir, but I think you're plenty strong in terms of Morgana. I think that's stopwatch time for sure.
It's just like, it also stops you from getting picked as well, because you're such a focal point of the lineup.
Yeah. Dragon's going to be taken here by Scoop City. There isn't much opportunity. We'll see if Sean goes for
We
the
see a
steal,
TP coming in from Daniel. They want to contest it, and it is going to be stolen from the side of Sean, and he's going to take that dark passage right back out and get a pat from the back from his teammates. Soul point now over to Casually Reformed, and that changes the game hugely now.
Smooth and crispy coming in from the jungle support duo. Here's Sean, just uses the ultimate in. He actually summons the Herald there on the side for some distraction. Goes in, boom, take the lantern out, no problem. It is just so clean coming in from the Volleybear Thresh. And yeah, that's, like you said, soul point for Casually Reformed.
The gang's coming. In comes the Goon Squad, and they have one thing on their minds, and that is bodybuilding. That shield's not going to last long enough to get away from Harvey. He's going to look for the hook, and he's going to find it. Can he get out regardless? The flash expended, and Dinsbag going to be the fall guy. He's going to take the hit, but not before taking one out with him. In the end, though, it is futile because they do get the shutdown of the bodybuilding.
Well, and there was a huge chase there. I thought I was going to be able to say, hey, it doesn't matter he didn't have that stopwatch, but actually that stopwatch would have been huge in that fight because they managed to get the Dinsbag teleport, managed to get a lot of damage, and bodybuilding had to run away, wasn't able to offer any damage in that fight. So, yeah, there you go. Maybe learned their lesson there. Dinsbag manages to grab Royal on the outside, but that's still 2 huge kills on the by far the most powerful members of Scoop City. We'll see what they change that into. There's still lots of towers up to take. It looks like they're just going to have to reset off those. So unfortunately, no objectives able to be taken for Casually Reformed off of 2 really, really impactful kills.
And Casually Reformed, they have a lot of Drakes, but this map is feeling really, really pinched for them right about now. They have to turtle in really, really far, and I wonder how they're going to look to remedy this. It's going to take a lot of team coordination to be able to establish vision control over their own halves of the jungle at this point. As we can see, Scoop City has a couple pivotal wards in their bottom red side.
Yeah, you know, we'll see what the next objective is, and we'll see what these teams decide to go for. It's looked a little puggy lately. It's looked like they're kind of just going for picks, kind of going for kills, and not really caring about what the consequences might be. So we'll see if they keep going for that. Of course, it is all about this next dragon. Murphy hits a hook, but those two, that little handshake from the two supports, and they back off. But yeah, the dragon comes up in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's the amount of time you've got to set up the map the way you want so that Casually Reformed can try to take this and Scoop City can try to prolong the time when they don't have that Infernal Soul on the side of Casually Reformed. That fight might end the game.
And I think if Casually Reformed are going to win this Drake, it's going to have to be a steal because I don't want to say it's doomed, but it's a little bit doomed when it comes to fighting Scoop City at this point, particularly when you look at how this Casually Reformed comp has fleshed out. Where is their win con, Wes? Where is it at?
Yeah, I mean, Casually, you know, Scoop City, they're looking for some sort of crazy team fight, but you need to lock down that Samira. But the thing is, it's Volibear who's gotten all the gold, so you're worried about the tank doing damage to your backline, and so you've got to worry about Peel as well as taking out that really, really volatile Samira, who now has finished the Lord Dominic's Regard's going to be shredding that armor. So it's going to be really tough for any team fight to happen. They are posturing around each other, and we know these teams like to hit the go button. They like to press that W key, as I keep saying when I've been casting Counter-Strike. Maybe it's been too much, but in any case, oh Sean, no, Royal was trying to get that blue, and Sean ends up getting it with the incidental damage. Unfortunate there.
If you didn't think the tanks were overstacked enough compared to the carries, it just gets worse and worse, man.
Well, that's non-trivial as well, because think about Vel'Koz with blue buff. That's exactly what you need. Sean's gonna get caught out here,
that
though.
blue buff might not last too much longer, actually, either, as a bit of a pickle. Has to jump away, has to use that ultimate, and he's not going to have that for a potential Drake steal, but someone else has found himself being stolen away to the underworld, and that's Bodybuilding. Key member taken out at the beginning of the fight. Can Casually Reformed find anything in response? In goes the Samira, but it's canceled by the Alistar. Huge play. Dinsbag, 1v4, 1v5. Can he get the triple? He can. Can he find the quadra? Yes, he can. Dinsbag can do it all. And that Baron is wide open if they can two-man that.
That's going to be the question. We see back to this team fight, and yeah, they just didn't bait out enough of the crowd control, and there's so much available to counter the Samira in this composition. You saw Harley go in. It looked like the dream ultimate for Samira going in, using the ultimate, instantly canceled, just completely stuffed in that fight. And yeah, in the end, it's Dinsbag with the cleanup, ending up with the quadra kill on set. 10, 5, and 3 now. They are going for this Baron, and it's getting close. It's getting a little rough.
It's getting a
but
little
they
bit
are
dicey,
going to be able to get
but
it.
they got it.
And they get it on all members. Everybody has respawned. The Dragon is available, but Casually Reformed are just now heading down there, and the Baron is up. So they might have to give this one up. They're okay to give it up, but they would have loved to grab that 4th Dragon and get that Infernal.
If I said it was looking kind of doomed before, it certainly is looking doomed now, man. If you can't win a fight when you pick Bodybuilding out first, how are you going to win a fight when you can't?
Yeah, exactly. Dinsbag is just so dangerous, and they're going to have to go for a steal. Remember, it did work last time. Pulling it out now, and do you even risk this is the question.
It looks like they want to. It looks like they have to. This game is getting out of their control if they can't find some way to stabilize it right here, right now. Sean waiting for that ultimate leap, but he cannot find it, and it will go over to Jelly. Dinsbag now in the front, looking for some sort of engage. Can he find it? Murphy doing his best to send them away, but he just taxis him right into that back line. Dinsbag finds another 2 to add to his kill count, and he's thirsting for more.
Oh, man. So there we go. The Dragon was taken. It was close. Vel'Koz went for the ultimate steal, and there was definitely the potential coming in there, but it's not going to happen. And so that's going to be Scoop City once again getting a Dragon. They've got the Baron as well. They're flooding into the base. Like you said, there's so little map control held by Casually Reformed. Their boon is those 3 Dragons, and they weren't able to capitalize. So now Dinsbag, like, how do you even kill this guy? There's just no damage that's enough, and now they're going to be able to get at least 1, probably 2 inhibitors on this push, and they might even push to end the game here.
I think they might be able to. They're looking for some sort of game-ending play here. I don't think they will be able to, though. They might have Baron, they might all be there, but at the same time, you don't want to be risking it right now.
Doesn't look like they are going to risk it. They're going to back up here and be satisfied with, a very satisfactory result. 2 inhibitors down, and that's going to be those super minions flooding into Casually Reformed's base. So you need to find some sort of balance here with your team composition, because we've gotten to that point where if you're just deathballing into each other, I'm pretty sure you're not going to win against Amumu and Set and Morgana, who are all in a very strong position right now. I'm pretty sure that team fight's not.
Goodbye, Wes. Wes has once again left us, and once again leaving the world is also our good friend Royal. Welcome back, Wes. You've just missed Dinsbag massacring yet another innocent civilian. Probably a little bit too many at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
keep getting away with it.
We'll take a quick break for me to sort out some of my tech issues after this game is completed. But in any case, yeah, just another kill coming in.
Bodybuilding, he still doesn't have a stopwatch, by the way. And he continuously gets punished for it. Maybe at some point he'll buy his Zanya's. Not even sure why he finished the Morellos. A finished Morellos over the Oblivion Orb does not offer that much compared to something like Zanya's. Dinsbag, though, on the backside is just kind of solo ending the game. Send more members, he says. They've already sent 4, but that's not enough. Dinsbag looking for at least 1, but he will be shut down in the end. What a madman.
Oh, that is just, like I said, this is a vintage Dinsbag game right now. This feels like Season 1. But we do see the 3rd inhibitor go down. There is Casually Reformed with 1 turret remaining on the entire map. And that is one of those Nexus turrets. So Casually Reformed definitely going to be struggling here to do anything resembling, a continuation of this game. They've just got to mount an absolutely legendary defense right now in order to even have a chance. Well, there is a chance. Scoop City are a volatile team. They have thrown away leads before. But it's not looking likely. That's for
Looks
sure.
kind of doomed, man. You were mentioning how they need to mix up their playstyle instead of looking for these team fights. They need to find some other way in, but they don't have another way in. Dinsbag has full control over any side lane he's in. That is not negotiable.
Yeah, and of course, we've gotten now to the point where Tristana has 3 items: Kraken Slayer, Infinity Edge, and Rapid Fire Cannon. You are just so dangerous right now. And yeah, we've gotten to that point where that is the superior ADC in terms of just straight up damage output. Tristana with the range, with the attack speed, is just going to be shredding through anybody she sets her sights on. So Scoop City, well, it's their game to lose right now. They have every single thing.
Well, there's at least one way they can lose it. I cannot believe this, man. Bodybuilding gets picked like 3 times in a row without doing any damage.
Look at that.
Hey,
let
me go back and buy more damage.
Come on, bodybuilding. Oh, that is so great.
I couldn't do any damage. The solution? Buy more of it.
Well,
even though looks like it's gonna be the game-ending fight, Alistar might go down, but that's not pick out at the beginning of this one. Actually, Harley with a double kill. Dinsbag is the one man on the Nexus. He flips back Murphy. That's also not exactly the target one. Murphy, though, is going to get a knuckle sandwich to the face for dinner as Dinsbag takes out both of the bot lane members. A massacre for him. And that Nexus is open. All of Casually Reformed are dead. And that's going to be the first game over to Scoop City.